Hello, assalamu alaikum everybody, and hope you're all safe, sound, and healthy. And I'm back as promised because I think I didn't take a good enough video as promised for, from the rooftop. Although I think I did, but I'll try to take a minute full for a short. And this is the side of the house as I'm climbing up the stairs here from the main porch. So this front mountain I finally found out, not this one, but the front one that I always capture shots of. This is Rawat. This really front mountain. This is all Rawat. When you go towards this side, Murree Hills begins, and if you go on the other side, that's where Kashmir begins. And yep, there are two dogs that have made themselves at home here. So yeah, you see those mountains way back towards this side is Kashmir, and here. Let me try to increase the focus a bit. To be honest, the scenic beauty just cannot be captured properly on camera. And actually, I'm not very well. My mom had the flu, and whenever she has the flu, then nobody can be safe from her because so I always end up having the flu. So I'm actually not feeling very well. And I'm bored to death because, as I said, I hate Jazz Bundle. You spend all that money and you can only watch YouTube. You can't use your social media properly, and it's a pain. It's annoying as hell. And this is the roof. These nettings were placed at the back, where they were going to straighten them up and place at the end of the land. This, as you see, this is how it is in the mountains. Usually you will see that the houses, the roofs, they touch the road above them. And so like our back neighbors are above us and their road is parallel to our roof. But we have left a gap. As you see, these are those plants. They look like a variety of jasmine. I'm not sure. But anyway. And this is their persimmon tree, which she grows. This is the gap we have left between our roof and the road. And these are the two tanks that we fill basically. We have three tankies. One is below, which I showed you, and these two here for extra water, because in the mountains you don't really get water easily. We have bored our own water supply, but twice we put up the wiring from the bore to our tanky to connect them, and twice it was stolen. And it's a very, very expensive wire, and it's really long because the bore is a bit far away from the house when we dug it. So that is a problem, with Pakistan. I'm sorry, but you can talk all you like about the good things about Pakistan, but to be honest, as a Pakistani living in Pakistan, I can tell you that one of the worst parts about Pakistan is you just can't trust the people around you. Everybody is dishonest, and everybody's looking for a way to touch you for money or to touch you for anything else. And our biggest problem in Pakistan, which is I think one of the main reasons why Pakistan is doomed as a country and why all this is happening in Pakistan, is because of the corruption has steeped deep within our people. It's not just the politicians. It's become part of our people because the politicians legalized corruption to such an extent that they've put haram ki kamai in our people's mouths to such an extent that they think it's normal, and they have forgotten what halal is and what haram is, basically. So when you become such a society where you have forgotten all your moral values and you've forgotten the difference between halal and haram when you earn money, then your country is bound to be doomed. But anyway, enough of that. The point is that the bore wiring that connects the bore to our tank to get fresh water from our own land that we dug up, that wire is extremely expensive, especially because of the inflation. And twice we put that wiring, and twice it was stolen. And so this time we're going to put it in a cable. And the problem is we cannot put it on the ground. See, that's the problem. If we had put it on the ground, obviously nobody would have stolen it. But over here, as you see, wires and cables and anything and everything that is wire or cable, for no matter what reason, it is always put above, never below. Why? Because they tend to put fire. When the season comes for them, when there's all this overgrowth, as you can see, then when the right time comes, then they set fire to all this excess grass and stuff. And because of that, it can prove hazardous. Your wiring, which is on the ground or underground or by the wall, can burn if they're careless. And obviously, because we're not always here, we only come here sometimes. So just for safety purposes, we cannot take the risk of putting the wires underground or by the wall. But anyway, this is the back side. This is the slope that we made for car parking. So the slope is very, very steep. And although my dad told them to make the ridges along the slope, to lessen the impact, they kind of didn't do it. But also, you can't really blame them. They were so busy focusing on trying to finish the slope because the back neighbors were disturbing us with the water problems. As I said, we have our own water supply, but because the wire got stolen, we had to rely on the neighbors. But actually, we didn't even rely on them. We were using our own water, which is rainwater. We have about 2,000 liters worth of rainwater that we've collected in our tanks, and we're still using it. So since we've come, we've actually been using rainwater that we collected. We've never had to ask water from anybody. But our front neighbors, the ones below us, they're really, really nice. They've been nice to us right from the start. They are so helpful, and they helped my dad throughout the process of building the house. And even after, every time they see us come, without even our asking, without even anything, they immediately get us fresh drinking water. And then they come up to us and they give us 2 huge bottles of drinking water, so that, because they know that we collect rainwater and they know that we are having problems with our fresh water supply. So they're very nice people. But the back neighbors, they are not very nice people. They are hypocrites, and their problem is that this whole land all the way to the end of this road, where there's a turning that goes up, this whole thing is our land. And these people are actually so used to trespassing into each other's lands because they're all related to each other. So their problem is that because we made the boundary walls, and basically we made the boundary walls not just to mark our land, but also because of landsliding. So it's to make it solid. Sorry. And because of that, they had a problem, because in our land they had also put stairs. As I said, over here people are so used to trespassing into each other's lands. They have no sense of privacy, no sense of this belongs to you or this land belongs to them. So they were actually trying to force us to give them access. Sorry. So they had to force us to give them access. Because of that, they have been behaving really badly. And they're basically hypocrites anyway. So the thing is that they need to learn a sense of privacy. They need to learn not to just trespass into other people's lands, and not to force people to let them trespass. But anyway, so this is it. This is the scenery. I can't talk much more because my throat is acting up because I've got the flu. And bye bye.